Okay.
Yep. So we're now live on Facebook and recording, and welcome everybody. Jill, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Welcome everybody, and a very, very special welcome from wherever you are in the world. We are welcoming you to the Virtual Vibes online session. And as we know, more and more of us are working in a virtual space, and several of us have been having situations where we're thinking, no, we must be able to do better than this. We don't have to have, it's bad enough when you have a boring face-to-face meeting. We don't need to transmit that online. So what we thought we would do is share some icebreakers and energizers. And that's what we're planning to do this evening. It's a little bit of like a laboratory. So we're going to be asking you to participate in the sessions. And then towards the end, we're going to ask you what your thoughts about it were, how different ones can be used in different ways. But what I would like to do right this moment is to give you an idea of where people are in the world. So I am going to share my screen with you and show you where people are. So we have with us this evening, I'm not sure if everybody is here right now, but obviously we can hear people joining the room. But we have 34 countries that are registered, over 118 persons. Those numbers will obviously change, but we have, in no particular order, we have Jamaica, we have Brazil, we have USA, Barbados, Ghana, Chile, Serbia, Burkina Faso, Indonesia, Togo. If you look on that slide and your flag is missing, send me a private note. But I tell you, it took me a long time to find all of those flags. So we say a huge welcome, and we are glad that you're here. So a few quick housekeeping matters. We're going to take you through a series of activities. And so at different points throughout the session, we're going to ask you to turn your video on or off and also mute your microphone. So please be, comfortable wherever you are and whatever you're doing. We will be having a question and answer section at the end. So make a note of any questions or comments you may have. And obviously, of course, you can put them in the chat box and we'll try to answer them. There are about 5 or 6 of us as presenters and co-hosts. So what we'll all try to do between us is keep an eye on the chat box. But forgive us if we lose 1 or 2 questions, but we will try to address them all. And separate and apart from a piece of paper for taking notes and asking questions later, can you also have a blank sheet and a pen ready for an activity later on in the evening? So today's session, I am obviously doing the welcome and the opening. My name is Jill Chambers. I'm the Regional Director for Latin America and the Caribbean. And as I say, I'm really, really excited that you guys are here, literally from all over the place. We're going to be taking you through a series of icebreakers and energizers. The first one in a moment is going to be with Hector, who is from the Dominican Republic, and he will be taking us through an energizer called Musical Chairs. Hope McNeish will then be taking us through an activity called What's My Name? And then there are Sharon Almarigi from Barbados and Ula Wyckoff Tomlinson, who's based in Jamaica. They will be taking us through 4 different activities. Where in the world is, pass a ball with a sound, would you rather, and yes. And then the last activity I will be taking you through, and it's called It's Simply Magical. And I have to say the person that showed me how to do it is on the call. So if it doesn't work for me, I'm going to shout for George. After all of those icebreakers and activities, what we're going to do is ask you to, or give you an opportunity to ask any questions and answers, make comments, talk about how the session was, etc., etc. And then we are going to wrap up and close. So that's where we are right now. So I'm going to, if there is no further ado, right now we have 50 participants on the call. And so we are going to go straight over to Hector for musical chairs.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So for this exercise, I'm going to be probably you've done musical chairs for a long time in certain in your activities, in your games, and everything. So no, this is like the virtual. How do you do musical chairs when you're online? So I'm going to ask you if you can please turn on your video. Right, if you like to play the game, I'm going to ask you to turn on your video. So how is this going to work? We're going to do several rounds, and we're going to see. Remember, we're going to put some music, and I'm going to ask you to move at the sound of the music. So, Jill, you've played musical chairs, right?
I have.
So what do you do? So when the music is playing, what do you do in musical chairs?
We get up and we dance and we move around.
Okay, perfect. So when the music it's on, we're gonna be dancing, we're gonna be moving, and please make sure that we can see your hands moving, and you can see moving around and all that. Okay. So when I say stop, when I stop the music, actually I'm not gonna say stop. I'm gonna stop the music. What do you do when the music stops in musical chairs, Jill?
You freeze.
Yeah, so we have to, we normally sit down, but you're already sitting down. So you're gonna freeze. If you continue to move, you lose, and you have to deactivate your camera, and you're off the game. So we're gonna see who's the musical chairs champion here. So I'm gonna be the judge in this game, right? So I'm gonna be looking at all of you very, very sternly. So I'm gonna look at all of you. So you better make sure that when the music stops, you better stop. I'm gonna be watching you. If I call your name, I'm sorry, you move, and you have to turn your video off. Okay? Does everybody understand the question? If you understand the game, raise your hand if you understand the game. Okay, good, pretty good. So we're ready, right? Ready to move? Come on, just let it loose, and let's get it started. Okay, let's move. Let's see how that Caribbean.
Where's the music?
Style.
Where's the music?
Yeah, we need the music.
Oh yeah, you look at that. I don't
Share
need even
computer music.
I
Share
don't
computer
even,
music.
you don't even need music. You have it inside. Okay. Stop. Okay. And that's how you're gonna play it. Okay. Let's go again. Oh, you move, Jenny. You're out. Corina, you're out. Marcos, you also move. You're out. Please, you turn you turn it off. You turn your camera off. My apologies. You move.
I move too. I'm turning mine off.
If you move, you're out. If you move, you're out. Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies. And let's continue moving. Now let's move. Now we can move. Okay, great. Perfect. Good. And we stop. Hey, the music's moving. You have to stop. Continue. You have to continue to move until the music stops. Stop. Hey, Sanya, you continue to move. Sorry, you're out. Okay. Who's there? Mm-hmm. Megan, you blink a lot. You almost move. And now you move. Come on, you're out. Sorry. Sorry, you moved. My apologies. Okay, and we continue. Let's dance. Come on. Great. Perfect. Absolutely great. I can see you. Jessa and Florence, you're out. Sorry. You continue to move. My apologies. Okay. Jorge, are you sure you don't want to move? You don't want to scratch your nose? Oh, you look like a picture out there. Are you sure you're not putting a picture? And we move. Good. Hey. Perfect. Now we're half of us. And stop. Hey, the music's playing. You have to continue moving. Come on. And Lorraine, Sharon, you continue to move like for 3 compasses. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Who else is out there? Are you sure you're not moving? God, you're good at this. You're good. You're really good. I wonder how, Jill, I wonder how long can I keep them like this?
Actually, I'm wondering if they know that there are no prizes. Do you think if they know that there's no prizes, they'll start to move? See, Una's moved. Yeah, there you go. No prizes. She's moving.
Yeah, and my turn as well. Sorry. And let's go for the last round to see the champions. And continue moving. Good. Perfect. And we have our 10 finalists. And Norma, you continue to move. Sorry. And Mame, sorry. Oh, no, you have someone there that's moving for you. And okay, so we have some winners here. I would like to congratulate Hope. Congratulations, Hope. You're one of our winners.
Can I dance now?
Did I say that the game was over? No, the game is not over yet. Hope, sorry, you have to put down your camera. You're out. Carla, you're out too. Carla, you're out as well. Sorry. So, for the final round. Come on. Jorge's going for the win, huh? Jorge's going for the win. Ada? Sorry, my apologies. Guys, you're out. So now it's officially over. Please, it's officially over. You can move now. Raise your hand. And I want to congratulate our winners, Sharon, Jorge, Josiane, Magali, Maria, Rhonda, and Diane. Congratulations, you're our winners of our virtual musical chairs game. Congratulations, well done.
Hector.
Thank you.
Yes, Jorge?
Hector, the virtual referee is checking if people were using like pictures to show they were frozen.
Yes, I was reviewing that, yeah. Fortunately, they didn't. Thank you. Yes, it was a very good. So thank you. Hope you liked it. It's our virtual version of the musical chairs. Thank you, Jill, for allowing me to just put a little crazy in here. Now, if you can please come back and join us to the room, activate your camera so we can. Good. And Jill, you're muted. Jill.
Sorry, can I just say, because a question came up in chat, and I'm sorry, I think I made an assumption. When there are more than, depending on your computer, when there are more than 25 people on a Zoom call, you get multiple screens. And can I just make sure you know how to go in between them all? Because somebody asked a question.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I asked the question because I was quite interested in how you manage to see all.
Oh, okay. Okay, so everybody knows how to see everybody. You know how to click to the next screens, right? I'm seeing lots of nods.
Scroll to the side.
Okay.
And also, if your computer can, if your computer can handle it, you can see 49 cameras on your screen. If your computer can handle it, you can get up to 49 little squares of all the cameras. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
Or you can move between screens, yeah.
Great, thank you for that one, Hector. Let's move straight on to Hope. And Hope is going to take us through an activity called What's My Name?
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
Okay, let me just get ready to go. Can you allow me to share a screen, Hector?
Yes, go ahead.
And I need to share screen. Alrighty. I am going to need everyone to rename themselves Okay. And to rename yourself, you launch your participants list. And you go, and then you go to your name, and you're going to change your name to an adjective followed by your first name. But the adjective must start with the same letter as your first name. Everybody got that?
Yep.
And if you need a little diagram to show you how to do that, let's go. Let me get this out of the way. All right, so the diagram, participants, and then you go here, shadow your name, then you click on rename, and that little thing comes up when you put in your new name. My new name will be Happy Hope, and then it appears in your participants list. Your new name appears in the participants list. How many people have done that now? Everybody? Let me change mine. Okay, never mind. I have common letter for my first name. Okay, has everybody done that? Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, what I'd like you to do is to scroll up and down the participants list and see if anybody has the same adjective. If somebody above you has the same adjective, you have to change yours to another adjective that begins with the same letter as your first name. All right, so can you just scroll up and down quickly and look and notice the names as you go along?
What if the spelling is different from the way you spelled yours?
Okay, the spelling is different. Okay, we'll give that a blank. We'll allow that. Okay, if it's completely different.
I see Marvelous Mark and a Marvelous Mommy.
Okay. That's M-A-R and N-A-V, M-A-V?
M-A-R. No, mine is with one L. His is with double L.
Oh, well, that's too close. Way too close.
I'm changing.
Okay, all right. All right. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next part of it. And I need a volunteer. And can you raise your hand if you want to volunteer?
I'm seeing some hands raised,
Okay.
Hope. You seeing them?
Okay, I'm trying to see them. Tell me one hand that's raised, Jill. Because I'm not
Jorge.
seeing. Jorge, okay, Jorge. What we're gonna want you to do is to close your eyes, and everybody look at Jorge, and while he's closing his eyes, I can see Jorge. All right, can everybody see Jorge?
Yes.
Okay, so
No.
who can see? Okay, but most people can see. All right, so I'm relying on the most people. Make sure that he's not peeking.
Keep them closed.
Okay, and what you need to do is to tell us 6 new names, 6 full names, adjective and first name of persons here. 6 of them.
Me?
Yes.
Sorry. I can. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm
Yes.
hearing you, Jorge. Now I see you.
Okay.
Yes. Your eyes are
Marcos?
closed?
Yes.
Okay.
Marcos, Hope, Gillian.
No. The
No?
adjective and the name.
Oh, the adjective and the name. Honest, Hector. Gillian didn't put anything.
Maybe I was too slow, but I have.
Yes.
Hope. No. I can't remember. Jolly Julia, because it was like mine.
Mm-hmm.
That I put Jolly George.
Mm-hmm.
Joyful John? No.
Is there a joyful John?
Well, there's a joyful, but not John.
Oh,
Not
okay.
John. Jerry.
Says joyful who?
Joyful something.
Joyful who, Hector?
Jenny. Joyful Jenny.
Joyful Jenny.
Joyful Jenny.
Okay. Okay.
All right. All right.
Marvelous Marcos. No.
Okay. You. That was a good try. You
Can
have
I
a
open
lot
my
of
eyes?
spunk. You have a lot of spunk, Jorge.
Yeah.
All right. So let us give him thumbs up for trying. All right. What I'd like everybody to do now is to greet the person to your immediate left, the person to your immediate right, the person above you, and the person below you. That's if you don't have anybody in any of those directions, then of course no greeting. But everybody's gonna greet at the same time, and you're saying hi and their full name, adjective, and the name. And it's there, it's easy on the screen, so you can do that, and you can do it with your eyes open. All right, so 1, 2, 3, everybody.
Hello,
Hi,
Magnet.
Ula,
My
Unique
name is
Ula.
Marco.
Carrie
Carol.
Hope. Carrie McDavid.
Here is
Hi,
David.
Hi.
Hi, Anna Hector.
Hey.
Hi, Karen Corinna.
Hello, Karen. Hello,
Carol.
Hello.
Hello, Juana.
Hi, Carol. Hi, Carol. Hi, Donna.
Hi, Magnamius.
Hi, Gagaris, Jill. Hi,
Hi, Karen Carol. Hi, Honest Hector.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. All right, so now that you're learning those names, here's a trick. For the rest of the session, you have to call people by their new names. And if somebody doesn't call you by the new correct name, don't pay any attention to them, ignore them. So call everybody by their new name. All right, and that's my activity. All righty, okay.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please remember, as I was saying right at the beginning, that at different points we're going to ask you to mute and unmute. Just now I saw some of you are doing the activity that Hope asked you, but unfortunately you were muted. So please remember to mute and unmute.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the next one. Thanks very much for that, Hope. We're moving to Barbados and Jamaica with Sharon and Ula. Where in the world is?
Okay. Yes, before Sharon will start to take you through our first game, let me just give you a little intro what we have been preparing for you. So I'm Ula Wyckoff Tomlinson. I'm German, but now I am a Jamaican because I live in Jamaica since 2004. Sharon and I, we want to engage you in improv games. So we thought, how can we bring improv games to the virtual environment? After a series of 4 games, we'll seek your feedback about how well these games work. Jill, we're not doing a full-blown feedback and debrief, and question and answer session is still at the end, but we will have one Mentimeter question that we will share with you at the end that we are asking you to reply. So the aim of improv games is to be spontaneous by reacting in the moment. And how can we do that? How can we engage people doing that in the virtual environment? And we want you to react without a lot of thought or any self-consciousness. Just do, just be. So just go with the flow and allow yourself to be present and have fun. We will use the start and stop functions for microphones and videos throughout a couple of these games. And so you have already done that with the start and stop video. It also will make it easier if you have activated the setting hide non-video participants. So at some point you will not see like a black video screen for somebody with somebody's name, but just nothing of the person. That's in your video settings next to the stop start video icon. If you open that and go to video settings, there is a tick that you can activate, hide non-video participants. That will make it easier. So, well, I'm handing over to Sharon, who will take you through the first game. So at this point, I think we want all your videos started. Sharon.
I need to stop.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Sharon. I'm Super Sharon Almarucci. I don't know how to, I'm American, but I've been in Barbados for many years, since 1994. So I don't know how to combine American and Bajan, but I'll figure that out. Anyway, our first activity, where in the world, some of you might have seen this on the web. I'd like you to unmute yourselves because we're going to do a pointing exercise where you know how you're next to somebody, but you may not be next to the same person as, say, Jill is or Jorge is or whatever. So we're going to experiment with that. And I'm going to say, where in the world is Honest Hector? And I'm going to point to him. And then I'd like you to point to Honest Hector. And then, okay, I'm going to point to him now. Go ahead and point to Honest Hector, wherever he is. Oh my goodness, everybody's in a, I don't know where you're pointing, Jill. It looks like straight out.
Not on my screen.
Keep pointing to Hector. Okay. All right, so then I'm going to turn it over to Hector. He's going to say where in the world and point to somebody else on the screen. Now, if you don't see who he's pointing to, just put your hands up.
Okay.
Okay, go Honest Hector.
So where in the world is Adventurous Anna?
No, you.
Adventurous Anna.
Oh. Where's go? I need glasses.
Remember to click in between your screens if you need to.
Right, I've been doing that. Adventurous, where are you?
Okay, now Adventurous Anna, your turn.
Right. So, where is Lively Lorraine?
Ah! Where am I? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Lively Lorraine, you need to unmute because it's your turn.
Hi.
I think a trick, if the person clears their throat, we'll find them.
Where in the world is Bold Barbara?
Okay. Old Barbara, it is your turn.
Okay, where in the world is Kind Ken?
Oh, somewhere on the next screen. Oh no, I found him.
Clear your throat, please. Okay, yeah. Right below me.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, you're supposed to be in front of my camera.
Okay, Kind Ken, you're going to be the last one. So this will be the last time.
Where in the world is Joyous Jessica?
Or before.
Where in the world is Happy Hope?
Hope you disappeared.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
Okay, we'll stop there. And
that was the last one.
That was quite interesting to see how probably if you had fewer people on the screen, it would be more straightforward, but it was still kind of fun to be able to see all the different configurations of where everybody is. So thank you for that. Now we're going to move on to the next game, Pass the Ball, which I'm going to hand over to, is it Unique Ula? I guess it's Unique Ula.
Okay, thank you. Super, Sharon. So we will continue to connect virtually across the screens, across the world, by passing a ball to another person in this virtual room. I will explain the activity, and then we will get into 4 breakout rooms so that we have, you know, smaller groups where we have everyone within our room on one screen. That makes it easier to practice this activity, I think. But I will explain first before we get into 3 breakout rooms. So the game is going like this. I will start it as a facilitator. I will pass a ball making a sound, and I will pass the ball to somebody calling out that person's name. So you will then catch the ball, repeating the sound I make, and then you will select another person and give the ball to that person with a different sound. Okay, you get the core of the activity? Please nod your heads if you do. All right, so it goes on and on until the last person receives the ball. And then the aim is that everyone gets a turn. So make sure that everyone has the ball at one point in your breakout room. The final person will then pass back to the first person who kicked it off in your breakout room. Okay? So we had to pre-coordinate this so that I know that a person whom I'm passing the ball to is the leader in one of your breakout rooms. So sorry, I cannot be engaging flexibly here now, but we will engage with a couple of persons. So to kick it off, I will pass the ball, and you will have 2 minutes in your breakout rooms to complete the game, and then the game will be over automatically after 2 minutes. Okay. Switch on your microphones when you get into the breakout room. It may be switched off. Not sure what the setting in Zoom is. So here we go.
Sorry, before you do, Ula, can you just give the instructions again, just very, very quickly, please?
Why don't we get demo? Like, Ula, why don't we give
All right,
a
I will
demo?
give it. I will throw the ball to somebody, making a sound. The person will receive it, making the same sound, and then you will pass it on to a next person. And we're going to kick this off. I'm throwing it to 3 persons because you will go with that person into a breakout room, okay? Here we go. Happy Hope, Super Sharon, Gregarious Jill. Woof. Okay. Yes, yes. Woof. Great. Now you give it to someone else in your breakout room. See you in 2 minutes.
All righty.
Okay, are we all back? Woo! That's how I received it back from my people in my breakout room. I hope you had a good time. How was it? All right, cool.
Good.
Cool. Super Sharon, it's your turn now.
Okay, here we
Take us
go.
to the next thing, right?
All right, next thing. Now we've being at home, homebound during the COVID, during the pandemic, we had to do a lot of activities. So I would like to get kind of a show of fingers, hands, fingers, as to what kinds of things you would rather do while you're at home. So we're going to get kind of catch a pulse, first with fingers, and then after that with your videos, right? So you really don't need your microphones on for this. I'm going to ask some questions. I'm going to ask you a question about what you'd like to do and give you 3 choices, right? In which you would choose a 1, a 2, or a 3, right? So, as you are currently homebound, you're going to ask you for these 3 things. I'm going to tell you what they are first, then you show your fingers. The first one is to bake bread, 2 is to catch up on things, and 3 is to watch Netflix, okay? Here we go. 1, bake bread, 2, catch up on things, 3, watch Netflix. Okay, great. Okay, we see who the industrious ones are, right? Okay. All right. Now, when you catch up on things, would you rather, I'll say all 3 first, catch up on professional work, catch up on work around the house, or catch up on shows on Netflix? All right, so would you rather catch up on professional work, 1, catch up on work around the house, or catch up on shows on Netflix, 3? Oh, yes. All right. Well, some of you will admit.
I like that, delicate David. I like that.
Okay, so now in the next one, I'm going to ask you to turn off your cameras, and then you're going to vote by turning your camera on. All right? So turn off your camera. Everybody turn off your camera. Okay, mine's still on, but that's all right. Ada, can you turn off your camera? Just go down to the bottom where it says stop video and click it. Turn it off. Stop your video. Oh, maybe you don't hear. There we go. All right, so now if you catch up on Netflix, I'm going to give you 3 different genres for watching Netflix or any kind of movies, right? So you would choose 1 for documentary. No, forget the fingers. I forgot about the cameras. You're going to turn your cameras on if you like documentaries, or turn it on if you like action thrillers, and turn them on if you like chick flicks. Okay? So here we go. Documentaries. Turn them on. Oh, okay. Great. Okay.
Really?
We didn't ask what kind of documentaries. Okay, turn them off. Okay. Action thrillers. These action thrillers. Action thrillers. Whoa. Some ladies like action for thrillers. Wow. Okay, turn them off. Turn them all off. Turn them off. Turn off your camera. Okay. Chick flicks. We're not ashamed to admit it. Okay, good, good, good. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do one more. Thank you, David. You're not ashamed to admit it. Okay, so one more, so everybody turn off the cameras. Okay. Okay, this one's going to be a little less funny, but still, turn off your camera. There we go. Okay, so while you're homebound, we're learning a lot of things, lots of methods. What would you rather learn? Methods for getting in touch with family and friends, methods for staying safe in the pandemic, or how to use icebreakers and energizers using Zoom, okay? So, first one again, learn how to stay in touch with family and friends. Nice, nice. That's great. Probably more than normal, probably more than when before the pandemic, right? Okay, learn ways, turn off your videos. Learn ways to stay safe during the pandemic. Yes, very important, very important. Okay. Or learn how to use icebreakers and energizers using Zoom. That's going to be everybody. All right, great. So that is, it's kind of fun to see the different ways that you can vote. You know, if you have everybody on the screen, and you can see everybody's, you know, three-finger voting. It's kind of a fun way to do it. Gets complicated when you can't see everybody, but I guess we can work that out each time. All right, thank you very much. I'm going to hand back to Ula for our next game.
Thanks, Super Sharon. If you liked it, just give her a clap of your hands. You can shake your hands. Right, that's a new way of shaking or clapping hands in the virtual room so that we don't get overpowered with the noise. All right, cool. And clapping hands using the reactions down there. Yes, I totally forgot about that. Thanks, Honest Hector. That was a great hint. Right, and we can still use our thumbs up. Okay, guys. Normally when we are in workshops, we are nowadays sitting in front of our screen. We don't move much. So the next activity is to engage you in some movement. All right. And this activity is called yes. Okay. And that's what we want to do. When we agree on doing an activity, we say yes. So put on your microphones and give yourself some room. So everyone in the room will emphatically, Sharon, emphatically, I will never learn this, call yes when I shout out to engage in an activity, okay? And then we will all do this activity in our own way in front of the screen for a little while. And then someone else can choose another activity. You jump in and you say, let's do this. And then we call yes. And we'll do this, okay? So we always start each activity with somebody asking you, saying, let's do this. And then we say, yes. And then we go and do it. And then someone else can jump in and come up with another activity. All right, I'm gonna get us started. And I would say, let's go swimming.
Yes!
Yes! See everybody's style, right? Cool, cool.
Let's do the YMCA.
Yes.
Let's do what?
Yes. What? Let's do what?
Let's do the YMCA.
Oh,
Let's do it. YMCA. We didn't say yes.
Yes, let's stand up.
Okay, what's the next one?
Yes, let's stand up.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stand up.
Yeah.
Let's do the twist.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Let's do the twist.
Let's do the twist.
Do the twist. The last one. Who knows the last one? Let's go scuba diving. Yes.
Yes.
And you can all appear on the screen again. Give yourself applause. Give yourself applause. All right. Cool. Those were our improv energizers. And we would like some short feedback. Please open your chat. I've put there a Mentimeter code. Please go to www.menti.com. Some of you may have Mentimeter app on their phone. You can do this on your phone. You can do this in the browser on a different, in a new tab in your browser. Go to www.menti.com. Code is 671191. 671191. I've written it in your chat. Menti.com. Code 671191. And I see already answers coming in. Can I share my screen, Hector?
Yes, go ahead.
So we said the aim is really that you get people feeling engaged, reacting spontaneously, and connecting with the group. And we want to know how these games worked for you. "22 persons have responded. 23. 8. How many are on the call, Hector?
49.
49.
Okay. We have now 30 responses. So you can continue giving the responses, and I'm handing back over, I think, to Jill to do our next activity. Is that right? And I can share the final results later.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so.
Jill, I hardly hear you. I don't know about others, but I hardly hear you.
Okay, is everybody hearing me okay?
Yes, yes,
Now
now.
it's better.
Okay, good. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much for those. We're going to do the last activity before we do a debrief and work out when we can use these and when we can't, etc., etc. And this is called It's Simply Magical. I would like you to get a piece of paper, any piece of paper. It was one of the things that I asked to do. Oh, actually, Caring Carol is saying that her virus protection wouldn't allow her to go to Mentimeter. Sorry about that, Carol.
She can use it on their cell phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. There's an app, yeah.
Okay, so does everybody have a piece of paper?
Yep.
So I want to say that my mentor for this particular exercise is on the call. So if I get it wrong, he will help me because he actually is the magician. So have your piece of paper, fold it in half. Let's do some magic together, shall we? Once it's in half, can you tear it into two?
Oh.
They should have two separate pieces. Okay, I'm seeing that from most people. Great. Put them one on top of the other. Fold them in half again.
Does it do it?
And you're going to tear both of them in half. So you should now have 4 pieces of paper.
Oh, tear it?
Yes. So you should now have 4 pieces of paper. Okay, on each sheet of paper, I'd like you to write down something that you like to do. So 4 different things, 1 on each piece of paper. Just write down something that you like to do. Okay, when you've done that, put them all together again in one pile and hold them in your hand. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just check everybody. Great. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to rip them in half. So you should have 2 piles of 4 sheets of paper. Great, looks like I can see everybody's done that. So you can choose if you put left over right or right over left. It doesn't matter, you decide, but you're going to have one pile. Okay, everybody done that? Great. So you're going to take the top three, and you're going to put them in the middle of the papers. Not at the bottom, not at the top. Put them in the middle of the paper. And then the one that's left on the top, can everybody see Geronimo Jorge? Right, so the sheet, that's absolutely. So the sheet that is left on the top, just put it to one side. We're going to come back to it in a moment. So with the remaining cards in your hand, what you're going to choose, it's up to you. You can take 1, 2, or 3 from the top. It's up to you. And then you're going to put the 1, 2, or 3 in the middle of the pile that's in your hand. You're going to take the next card and put it in the middle of the pile again.
The card on top.
Yep.
Okay.
You're going to take the top card and put it in the middle again. Then you can choose again whether you do 1, 2, or 3 from the top. And you're going to put them in the middle once again. And so now we're going to go back in time and play a game that we all used to play when we were younger. He loves me or she loves me. He loves me not. Okay? So the first piece of paper, he loves me. So you're going to keep that and put it at the bottom. The next piece of paper, he loves me not. You don't need it, so throw it away. The next piece of paper, he loves me. Put it at the bottom. The next piece of paper, he loves me not. Throw it away. The next piece of paper, he loves me. Put it at the bottom. The next piece of paper, he loves me not. Throw it away. The next piece of paper, he loves me. Put it at the bottom. The next piece of paper, he loves me not. Throw it away. The next piece of paper, he loves me. Put it at the bottom. The next piece of paper, he loves me not. Throw it away. The next piece of paper, he loves me. Put it at the bottom. This last piece of paper, he loves me not. Throw it away.
No!
And so,
No!
and so the piece of paper that I asked you to put at the side should now match with the piece of paper that's in your hand.
Oh my
And so hold it up to the screen. And that is because it's simply magical.
Yay.
Great, everybody's got it. Wonderful. Wonderful. Cool. Okay. All righty. So we have come to the time. So we've shared several icebreakers and energizers with you. Oh, Beverly's driving. Sorry, Beverly. I'm just seeing the chat. And Hope has another power cut. I'm sorry about that. So we've come to the time when we'd like some feedback on the energizers and icebreakers that we've shared with you. And so it's kind of like a little evaluation exercise. Remember, I had asked you to make notes and take notes, ask questions, make comments. Let's talk about, so we shared with you musical chairs. I'm going to go right back to the beginning. We shared musical chairs. We shared what's my name, where in the world is, pass a ball with a sound, would you rather, yes, and it's simply magical. So there are 7 energizers and icebreakers that we've shared with you. And what we'd like to do now for the last few minutes is to talk about differently, and like I say, ask questions. What worked well? How can you use them, etc., etc. Oh, okay. So somebody's asking me to share again the activities. Let me just go through the list because there were 7.
I can.
Oh, actually, yeah. Can you show? Yeah. Thank you. So musical chairs. What's my name? Where in the world is? Pass a ball with a sound. Would you rather? Yes, and it's simply magical. So, what questions and comments do you have? I'm going to open the chat and have a look at the same. So I'm seeing some asking for instructions for the magic one. Will the recording be available? Gillian is magic. That's because of Jorge. He showed me how to do it. Okay, so what questions do you have? Unmute yourself. Let's have a conversation. Put some questions in the chat. Hector, there's a question for you. Are you seeing it?
Yeah. Yes, I can see it. Yeah. Yeah, the IAF group on Facebook. You can join on the website and then on Facebook. And right now we're transmitting live, so it's going to be recorded there as well. So you guys can go in and check it out and review it and see it again and stuff. It's going to be in the IAF website public group in Facebook. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so some people are asking for the instructions for some of the activities. We can certainly do that.
Yeah. They want you to share. They want you to share the magic, Jill.
Actually, I have to say, Jorge shared the magic with me, and it really is magic. Jorge, would you like to share where it came from? Because let me take advantage of you being on the call. Unmute yourself wherever you are.
To follow the instructions and feel inspired.
You were muted for a little while, so say what you said again.
You just have to follow the instructions and feel inspired.
So please share the instructions.
Yeah, we will. We can certainly do that.
Okay.
Great. People are saying the energizers were interesting and fun. All of them were great. Thank you. Is it comfortable? Sorry, hang on. Is it comfortable to people on a mobile phone to play? Caring Karina is asking that question.
Caring, the things I have a question because she had asked the question about musical chairs.
Okay.
I don't know if that's related to that one. So I would say yes. Normally people feel very comfortable to use it and they like to actually move. The thing is you have to put it yourself in gallery view so you can see everybody. And actually you have to share only the music. In advanced settings in Zoom, you can, when you're sharing, you can share only the music. So you don't have to share the screen. You only share the music and whatever you're playing, either iTunes or an MP3 or anything that you're playing, the audio is transmitted to the participants in the meeting. So yeah, so you only transmit the audio, not the video, so you can see everybody, and when they're doing the dancing. Yeah.
So Sunny Sanya is saying the activities were all engaging, but may not all be feasible depending on the meeting you're facilitating.
Oh,
she
yeah.
liked the activity where you can vote by different means, hands, video on and off, etc.
Right.
Great stuff. Some of these take time, so you'll need to use your judgment on which ones to use. Clever Chanel is saying that. In the same way, I mean, obviously there are different persons on this call. So there are internal facilitators, external facilitators, teachers, whatever your profession is. In the same way that you would plan for an in-person meeting is really the same way that you should plan for an online meeting. So obviously be mindful of time. Make sure that whatever activity you're using is relevant or not. I mean, if it's just for fun, then of course just have fun. But the group should know what the objective is. I'm not sure how to answer the cell phone question. I think that that's a really good one. What are other people's thoughts?
Yeah, I was thinking if there are any persons who are actually using their cell phones to participate this afternoon, they could give us feedback as to how comfortable it was or how feasible it was for them. Anybody like that?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Stephanie. I use my cell phone for all of it, and I could only see 3 people per screen. So for the dancing game, that was okay, but for the other ones where we were pointing, I mean, I was still scrolling by the time we switched to other people. And the ball game was a little hard, but the dancing was fine, and the magic game was no problem.
Mm. So that's important.
Yeah, that is important to know.
Do tune in on their phones. Mm-hmm.
One of the questions that I have is a lot of our webinars, I agree that we need to spice them up and do some interesting things. And I think that some of these activities were really good. I'm just wondering what would be an appropriate activity to use in a learning webinar where you're really, time is limited and you're presenting some very critical material that you need to move through quickly. You can't do the passing the balls. And I'm just wondering if there are other, sorry, I like the renaming. If it's a small group, I think that that's useful. But I think that what would be helpful is some other types of activities that would get people interacting, but just in preparation and linked to the topic at hand. And I just wondered if anybody had any suggestions for those.
Could I say something?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I think about this kind of activities in my beginning is that I was always afraid what I'm going to do, and just to be a bit bold about this kind of activities could be dangerous or something or not appropriate. And I think this is just like a perception. Everything I do something bolder or more energetic, what I take from the group is so awesome and so good that we don't have to be afraid of doing these kind of things. Because sometimes it's just for fun and energy, and it's enough and it's good. So, but about mobile phones and so, of course, about appropriation. I used to do, for example, something about with numbers. For example, in a round, but sometimes we just need to prove with some friends before trying with a group in a professional way. For example, with numbers, for example, you don't have to say numbers if are a multiple of 3 or the number includes a 3. So people are going in a row saying the numbers, and if you are wrong, we come to the beginning again. And it's very energetic because people always are wrong.
Mm.
Actually, I wanted to say, sorry, Sharon, I was just going to say, the Would You Rather is a game that I'm familiar with online, but what was really cool about the way Sharon and Ula did it that I've never seen is using the videos on and off. I've done that before with fingers or getting people to hold like 2 pieces of paper. So like you just put number 1 or number 2. And I thought the videos was a really good dimension. But in relation to Norma's point about a more relevant one, again, depending on what you're doing it for, with Would You Rather, you can ask relevant questions. So you can ask a question that is to do with the subject matter. would you rather, so let's just take a really straightforward, easy one. If it's I don't know, a facilitated discussion about something to do with customer service or something, you can ask a question about customers. You know what I mean? Like you can change. The questions are completely arbitrary, completely.
And also the one about the paper, the one that we tore the paper.
Yeah.
It could be used for communication because I usually use that, but it's a little bit, just a little skewed a little bit differently, where I ask them to tear the paper and everybody come out with a different dialy. And then when you hold up the dialy and see what you have in comparison to the other, so I know that that one definitely can go in an online session.
Cool.
Yes.
Just
we just need to the training.
And just to add to what Gillian said, I think these games kind of open your mind to other possibilities. It gives you ideas about how you can customize or think about the games you already have and how can you make it what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Because like, I think these are just teasers and it's interesting to see how we can pretty much take this to a different level. The one that where you switch on and off, I mean, could be a very good one if, for instance, this is a travel team or whatever. It's like, who has ever been to Jamaica, you know, and then you switch it on or switch it off, or who has been to the Caribbean or whatever it is. So I think that using these ones, you can kind of customize it to whatever you're facilitating. And it definitely opens doors to other games that probably don't exist, but you can create them to make it happen.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat also whilst we're talking, and somebody is Crazy Karen is asking, if you're a facilitator and sharing a screen with the activities, how do you see everyone? I'm actually going to ask Hector to answer, but I will say that this is something that I continue to play with because there's different ways to do it. I have to say that Zoom's tutorials and YouTube tutorials are amazing. There's nothing that you can't find out about on Zoom, but we have our own preference. So Hector, will you speak to that a little?
Well, yes, there are several ways. If you can and you can afford it, my recommendation: get another screen. It's worth it. You're going to use it, and from the foreseeable time, most of our work is going to be online. It's just that's the reality. So it's like investing in a good mattress. You're going to use it, so you better invest in one. So yeah.
Hector, I put on the chat a site that I don't know if you know it.
Yeah,
it's
Session
Lab that is moving a lot of activities to these times and web games. So you could profit of this because I know that some will have, and it's just to join because you are allowed to do it, and they are very connected with the IAF.
Actually, the methods library of the IAF is hosted in Session Lab.
Yeah.
So when you create your account in Session Lab, you can link it to your IAF account, and you have access to a specific. Well, the whole Session Lab has around 1,500 or something. It's a very big database, but there's a special database. Actually, Ula participated, I believe, in the curating because they actually reviewed. They were curated, and all the instructions are there. And on Session Lab, and you link it to your IAF account in this special library for IAF members. Yes. So so the thing is, well, if you cannot use a secondary screen, is make sure that you can either present using a feature that's present yours only PowerPoint. So you can actually, for example, I'm gonna show you. For example, remember that I was showing you a PowerPoint slide? Actually, the PowerPoint slide is just one corner of my screen. The rest of my screen is empty and I can move stuff around. So how do you do that? Is you only present, when you select what you're sharing, you share only the PowerPoint window and make sure that the window is small and it's just showing in a specific, very small space. So you have the rest of the monitor available for you to look at. So if I just change the sharing, I would be able to just share with you the PowerPoint. And now the PowerPoint looks big, right? Right, and
yeah,
it's only that corner of my screen. So it's like I set up Zoom so it shows a specific part of my screen. In this case, PowerPoint.
Excuse.
Hope you were going to say something. Yeah, somebody was going to.
Yeah, I thought I thought I
Hope
heard
was,
somebody
but
say
it seems
something.
like her screen is frozen.
Yes.
yeah.
Like
Hope,
her screen is
Hope has
frozen.
multiple power cuts today, so
Yeah.
maybe she's just offline again.
Okay.
There was somebody else raising their hand. I don't know.
Yeah,
if
there's some questions in the chat about using breakout rooms, and some work and some don't work. So they found that the activity in the breakout room was really good. Some people not realizing that you can use breakout rooms with Teams. I have to say that these online platforms are getting more and more sophisticated. One of the things that I find, and I'm not an advocate for Teams or for Zoom, although I use Zoom more than anything else, I find Teams quite limiting because you can't see as many people on the screen at the same time.
Joe.
And because of that, I find it quite limiting for my work.
Joe,
Marcus, yeah?
Excuse me, you can't make breakout rooms with Teams. What you can do is to open, for instance, 5 sessions, and you work with people in one session. And if you need people to split, you ask them to join the other sessions which you have the addresses. And then you set time and then ask them to come back. But it's not inside the app. I don't know if I made it clear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Somebody said, go ahead.
I think, yes, Ula, unique Ula here. I just wanted to make a general comment. Why did we use breakout rooms for the balls game? Just to show you that you have to make sure you have a group of people that fits on one screen to use that one. So it really is limited to the group size. You can introduce it to breakout rooms. That's fine, like we did it today, and that was like impromptu, really. When I heard, well, there's probably 60 and plus people on the call, I said, well, Jill said you have to do something in the breakout room. So I think it applies to all activities. When we were in face-to-face, whether we make a big group facilitation of 80 to 100 or even more people, or whether we have small teams that we are facilitating, we have to make sure that the activity fits the type of persons that we have in the room and the size of the group. So it's the same thing. We just have to get used to the Zoom or other platforms. So you have to know how many screens or how many videos you can see at one time. And you also have to see, when you really have a training environment, you have to tell persons you have to join by computer or laptop. I think a phone does not. If you want to listen and you're just want to take in content, fine. But if it's interactive, if you want to collaborate, if you want people to get engaged and feel like the group is still connected, they have to work, they have the tools that are needed to do so, I think. And that's my opinion.
Yeah, that's one of the key things, Ula, because, unique Ula, sorry, because a lot of people don't have the technology available to them and they're not comfortable. I'm working with a group of people who are anywhere ranging more from 30 to 55, maybe usually 40 to 55. And many of them come from backgrounds where they don't have to use the computer in their work because of the kind of work that they're doing. And therefore coming onto these Zoom calls is a big change for them. And then turning on and off the camera. Some of them don't even know how to turn on and off their mic, so we have to mute them. So I think that some of these, one of the things about the activities I thought was impactful is it gives people a chance to practice some of the use of technology in a very non-threatening space. And I really like.
Yeah, yeah, and you need to, that's completely right. And you need to find out how far you can take a group, and over time they will learn. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you all for engaging in this today. It was fun.
Any other final questions before because we have a couple more minutes before we wrap up?
No.
Can I just say, somebody said something way back in the chat, and I've lost it. But somebody said something about being bold. I just want to endorse that. It's really important. Was it Jorge? Okay.
Yeah.
It's really important to just try things in the same way that you would try things in person. Try things. If you mess up, it's fine, you know. I mean, you know, Michael Jordan said that he missed 100% of the shots that he didn't take. You don't know if you're going to be able to do it unless you try it. We're not supposed to be perfect. Everybody is doing different things at the same time. Just have a go. And if it doesn't work, laugh it off.
May I jump in, Jill?
Please do.
Gorgeous, Jill. Is it gorgeous?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, well, let me talk fast before I have another poll cut. I've had 5 so far.
Wow.
But yes, it's crazy. But one of the things is we need to recognize that that the icebreakers are necessary. It's not just something, you know, not just an add-on or a decoration, but it is essential. It's an essential part of building the interaction with the participants. And then, you know, we can tweak it and do what we want with it, you know, find the ones that were developed. What I do, I have a bunch of friends, and when I'm going to try something new, I bring them into Zoom and practice it on them. So I get the feedback and that sort of thing. So you get to test it out. So we can test out our icebreakers or whatever other types of activities before. But focus on keeping them tight and compressed, and also connecting them where possible with your subject matter. Many of them can lead into discussions on emotional intelligence and things like that. Icebreakers are actually a demonstration of emotional intelligence. It says that you recognize that you need to build the relationship with the participants and to gel with them. Just that a little bit. Thank you.
Could I add just a little thing about, and because you are a fabulous group that I want to thank you to welcome me. And I think that some of facilitation in these kind of platforms, one of the good things is to share and to have someone to work with us, not alone. Because some technical issues that could compromise the session, if you have someone with you, and facilitation on pairs is much better because you are not alone. And I think this is something that we need to improve a lot, not to work alone.
Good stuff. Anything else? Sharon, you're muted.
Yeah, I just want to endorse what Jorge said, is that it's not only just more comfortable for us to facilitate, it also lends itself a better experience for the participants. You know, the fact that you can have help versus someone in charge of reading the questions and the comments that's coming up on the chat, and being responsible to capture those and answer. Somebody else dealing with technical glitches, somebody else, so having different persons with different responsibilities is really helpful for the participants to have a good experience and things run smoother.
It's interesting. There are a couple of us on the call that were in a session this morning. My colleague Megan is over there from Melbourne. Is it you from Melbourne and Julia from Sydney?
What kind of Megan?
Sorry, Mellow Megan. Canberra, I got it wrong. So Julia, it must be you from Melbourne. Okay, I got that one right. Thank you. We were saying on the call this morning that in person, one facilitator would not be expected to do everything. one person would not be in charge of logistics and refreshments and the facility and the, you know what I mean, and the projector and the technical stuff. And so when you're with your clients, why would you think that one person can do 6 functions? So part of it is the re-educating of people as we work in this virtual world more and more.
I think
just
that's
wanted
really important, Jill. The other thing is where our experience is different clients have different platforms that they can use for security reasons. So some of our government clients aren't allowed to use Zoom, and they use Skype for Business.
Right.
And so one of the things that I've been doing is saying, well, you know, I can help you host a Zoom, but if you want to use your own technology, you have to provide the technical person that knows how to make it work when people have problems.
Yes.
That's a good point.
That's a good one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it's the thing is there are so many moving parts in an online session, and when I have very critical clients, I tend to schedule it and program to co-facilitate, because your co-facilitator becomes your plan B. If my computer dies or my internet dies in the middle of a very important session with executives and stuff, they don't care my internet died. They still want to continue on doing the work that they're supposed to be doing, and they're paying for me for that. And unfortunately, we are at the how do you say it? At the whims of the internet gods that allow us to be connected, right? So if you're co-facilitating and your co-facilitator is in another country, even, it's even better. It's an extra layer of security, because I mean, even if in my whole country the internet goes down, at least the other person can deliver. So your co-facilitator becomes your automatic plan B, because both persons should be able to do it on their own. I mean, in case, but because it's could be very complicated if you just get disconnected or your computer just dies. I mean, and it has happened to me. Once I had to deliver a session with using my cell phone because I had no other option. But it's not a fun thing to do, definitely. Yeah, but it's part of the environment. It's part of this new world. Marcos, you're raising your hand.
No, I think fantastic what you were saying. And what I noticed is that we have to separate what is facilitating and what is technology. Because I see a lot of people curious and asking about how to do that in Facebook, how to use Mentimeter, how to use Kahoot. I decided in my work that I will leave those things not for the future, but try one at a time. Don't try to put too much technology, not because it's difficult to me, but because it makes difficult to facilitate. So I prefer to do an activity that I have to put a piece of paper in front of the camera than to do it with Kahoot or Mentimeter and so on. And this kind of the plan B is fantastic. I was telling someone, I always use my desktop, a notebook, which is here, plugged with another. I have one Zoom professional, the other one my private one, to have this, the computer, it happened something to the computer. I have another one. And to work together with someone is basic.
Yeah.
So above 15 people or 20, especially you need a co-facilitator to check the chat and to see what's happening, to answer people and so on.
Right.
Okay, gentle people. It has been an absolute pleasure. We have just gone 2 minutes over. Are there any burning questions? Glad Gail is saying something. What's she saying? Good, thank you. We agree. Great to have you.
Thank you.
Mine is not a question. Mine is just saying thank you. It kind of feels like with Corona and everything else, we miss being somewhere fun. So we feel like we're in the Caribbean, especially with people's backdrops showing the beaches and stuff like that. So it's about 10 p.m. Ghana time. Yeah, 10:33. So it's been refreshing. Thank you.
Thank you. We're really glad that you made it. You could make it. And obviously not just the International Association of Facilitators, but there's lots and lots of things online so that we can be better at what we do. Don't struggle. Please reach out. Sorry, Carol?
Yes, I just wanted to say that I have found the social media to be very interesting, and the way data is being collected on our, whenever we go to various sites. So I have been on a lot of webinars that have been valuable. As a matter of fact, when Zoom decided to expand their reach and to add various even the rooms and all of these things, they took us through some webinars, several webinars, and took us through them. And that was for free. And I noticed because of the coronavirus and a lot of people are now showcasing what they have, there are a lot of development stuff that we can go online and access them free and to learn about new technology, the artificial intelligence and how it works well with activity related, because sometimes you're thinking if we are to go online, how do we demonstrate like a speech? And if you're doing a customer service, how do people demonstrate? But there are software that that's mixed with artificial intelligence that can give you that. I was even on a session today and I'm exploring those because there are lots of stuff out there, and just make use of them. When you go on Facebook and you register for a seminar, all of a sudden you see all of the seminars coming up on your page, eh?
Yeah, there's lots of things online. Just spend some time, do some research.
Yeah.
It's actually quite surprising the amounts of information that you can find out that is no cost actually.
Yes.
So again, folks, I really do want to thank you.
Can I say something before you finish?
Can you say it really quickly, like in 10 seconds?
Yes, this is crazy, Karen. I'm sorry I couldn't show my video, but I'm not quite decently attired. But I just wanted to say thank you all. I'm a sales trainer and I'm working to bring my business online. So you have helped me tremendously because I used to have fun huddles and exercises face to face. So I'm glad for the suggestions and the ideas that I've gotten from being here today. So sorry I couldn't show my face.
Great. But you being here is enough. So thank you. Thank you. So I want to thank my co-hosts. I want to thank the participants and say that where's Hector gone? I've lost him. There he is, honest Hector. Can we share the recording? Can we tell people how to access it?
Yep, actually it's on the IAF Facebook page.
Wonderful.
It's already there. I'm gonna just be sharing the group page. If you're not already a member, please join us. It's our open page, web group, so you can also know what everything else that's happening around the world in terms of IAF. So the link is there. If you can join us, so please, we'll be happy to have you there and sharing what's happening in the IAF around the world. Very happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm really impressed with some of you. It's like late or really early where some of you are. I really appreciate your presence. We couldn't have done it without you, and stay tuned for more. Thank you and stay safe.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And thank you.
Thank you all the presenters and participants. Great to connect.